last time I How we doing? Good? Good? Okay? Okay, just checking. Is there anybody here, I guess I have 3 questions for you, or 2. Is there anybody here who has a stutter? Anybody? That's okay. It isn't a prerequisite. Is there anybody who knows somebody who has a stutter?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? Hands, hands, great. Love to see it, fantastic. I hope as you watch this piece you think of them. And if there's anybody who doesn't know what I mean when I say a stutter, I guess I would describe it as just an alternative speech pattern that I think, in my opinion, is better than talking regularly. But that's just me. Because I just think it's really cool. And I think it opens up a lot of doors to a lot of new ways of understanding how we think of time. Time. How we think of time and ready? My favorite thing about having a stutter is the way in which it has taught me to always anticipate surprise. Normally, in this moment, at least in the times I've rehearsed it, I always bring up this TikTok trend as kind of this analogy towards how I understand how stuttering can be a surprise in ways. But I think I'm going to talk about how literally in check rehearsal today, because my plan for this work was I was trying my best to not plan it too much, because I knew that the more that I ran through it, especially with my speech, the more I ran through it with my speech, the more I was gonna know it and just be able to go toward it without having to confront the blocks or confront the stuttering. And so I had the goal to be just try to be as spontaneous as you can. And so I had that set up, and I was thinking it was going to be pretty good. And then we did tech, and I didn't stutter that much. And I was like, oh, this is so weird. Because I thought that it was going to be the thing that once I got into the space, etc., that I was going to hit those blocks, but I really didn't. And I think that I say that the stutter always has me anticipating surprise. In that sense, I thought it was going to be the thing. And then it was like not. And it seems like it's actually going pretty well right now, which I think is interesting. We'll see how the rest of it goes. But I am very thankful to the stutter for giving me that sense of surprise. I thank it ever so greatly. Another one of my favorite things about having a stutter is that I can use it as an excuse to not do things. I love it. And that's all I'm going to say on that. That's being serious. Another one of my favorite things about having a stutter is also how it's giving me ample time to perfect the art of I would say that another one of my favorite things about having a stutter is the way in which I always get to experience it with whoever's around me. I think there's something very special about engaging in stuttering conversation. I think there are a lot of really like once-in-a-lifetime moments that get to happen when you're engaging in conversation that involves repetitions, elongations of speech. Elongations of speech. And I feel very lucky, and very privileged, and very honored to be able to kind of sit on this side of it. And I think there's always something that I noticed as a kid, of course. And you know, there's always a time of processing for whoever the listener is, to like notice it's happening, comprehend that it's happening, and then like make a choice about how they react. And as a youngin', I was always like very afraid of that confronting process, because I was always like, what if it like makes me feel bad, etc. But I have really learned, thanks to the stutter, thanks just like growing up in the world, I've learned, like, it's so special to be able to, like, be that intimate with somebody right off the bat. And even if the reaction is, you know, good, and they're like supportive, and they're like, it's fine, which is always nice in ways. Or if they react and they're like, are you good? You know, there are a lot of different responses, and I have felt a lot of ways about them for a long time. But I've realized I'm so lucky, you know, to be able to have those moments. And kind of all of that to say, all of that to say, all of that to say, all of that to all of that to say, all of that to say, all of that to say that I thank you all for taking 7 or 8 or 9.5 minutes, and joining me in Stuttering Heaven.